You may have seen this headline in the news, and I really just wanted to tell you the story behind that particular headline. As ever, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you're all right. It's a wet and, well, damp night here in the very heart of London. Gotta tell you, it's so quiet. As we know, we're getting towards Christmas, I know, but everything's very, very quiet. What happened to all the tourists? Are you all coming here, of course, for Christmas Eve? Anybody spending, by the way, Christmas in London? Have you ever done that? You know, because it's a strange thing, isn't it? In a big city, it tends to sort of evacuate. And of course, it's families go out to families, that sort of stuff. I know it's a little bit like that in New York, I remember that. But I'm not quite sure if people still come into London to stay for a couple of nights. Maybe you do. If you are in London and you see me out and about, as ever, do come and say hello. You're always welcome, you know that. Now let's get back to your royal story of the day. There's this particular headline here, which of course features His Majesty the King, King Charles. And in this headline, it basically states exactly what's happening regarding His Majesty's health. And this has really set quite, a lot of things aflame on social media. I wanted to tell you the story behind this as what I know, having spoken to insiders at the palace. Now let me tell you, the reason why they've put this out to literally calm people and say, this is the situation, this is what's ongoing with His Majesty the King and his health, is simply this. You see, normally around this time of year, when papers and all that sort of stuff are thin on the ground for news stories, they basically come up with some outlandish claim about, of course, some member of the royal family's health. And what he's done, which I think is very clever, because as we know at the start of the year, he was very open about exactly the type of cancer that he had and all that sort of stuff, and the treatment that he was having. What we are told, though, of course, is His Majesty the King is continuing with his treatment into 2025. And we're also told that it's going in the very much right direction. Now, I don't know about you, but I want to take this opportunity to wish him well. It can't have been an easy year, having everything that's been thrown at him, and also continuing to work at the pace that he has when he's had this particular illness also attached. And as I've said many times here on the show, I know lots and lots of people are going through a very similar thing. I think the most poignant thing really to take away from this particular statement is, let's not forget recently that, of course, the Prince of Wales, His Royal Highness Prince William, basically told the incoming president, 47th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, while having an informal chat over in Paris, that his father was fighting it hard, in fact. And I think that really tells you a lot about the situation. It's certainly not been an easy ride, but His Majesty the King pointed out on that visit to the Macmillan Cancer Research Centre that he felt everybody goes through the same thing, he's no different, and people don't need to hear negatives or indeed downer days, as he pointed out. Obviously, this has taken a toll not just on him, but naturally alongside senior members of the monarchy and his wife, Queen Camilla. I know that from a personal fact. But the bottom line is, the reason why they have to put this out is they don't want people stating, oh, he looks very thin on the walk to church, or he looks a little frail or ill, that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? So that is why His Majesty the King has been, some people might say, forced to put out that particular statement. The reason why I wanted to share it with all of the chums is simply because people become alarmed. And the bottom line is, it's still ongoing. As it said, the treatment is still ongoing. But what a year he has given us, even though he's not been in the very best of health. So let's just hope that when we hear the King's speech, of course, on Christmas Day and going into 2025, let's wish him and everybody who's going through a rather difficult situation health-wise all the very best, good wishes, God bless, and a very happy into 2025 and beyond. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.